I'm not one to say suicide's bad. You should never take your own life, because I believe in the freedom of our consciousness, and I believe in the right to our own life, and I believe in the right to our own minds, and I believe in the right of consciousness expansion, and I believe in the right to you know augmentation of your body. I believe in the freedoms of your experience, and if you decide that you no longer want to be living in this dimension, in this body, in this time, in this consciousness, then that is your gift to refuse or to close the door on. And it's up to you to decide when that is over. I am of the mind that this is a classroom, and if you say, I'm dropping the class, okay. I do believe that dropping the class does not excuse you from the curriculum. And in the multi-dimensional, energetic, divine awareness of your learning, you don't get to skip it, and you might have to learn it again. You will have to learn it again. You can't quit. You can quit this life, but you can't quit the process of learning and struggling and growing. And so I sometimes, when I've had moments of thinking like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, or these struggles are too much, or some fatalistic perspective that might tiptoe into suicide, I remember that, all things considered, this classroom's pretty awesome. I have a healthy body. I have a network of friends. I've got access to clean water. I have a roof over my head. I'm not enslaved. I'm not in prison. I'm not being human trafficked. As far as places to learn things, this body, this lifetime, this time in history is pretty freaking awesome. Is it hard? Sure, but it's not going to be easier in some other time, place, dimension. So I suck it up, and it always gets better. There's a trite saying that suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and I think that for most people that is true. I think that way too often we quickly try to end suffering for a chapter of suffering that is finite. I know that I can map my life and go, how crazy, how many times I thought it's all over, I'm done, I got nothing left to do, best is behind me, I'm worthless, whatever, and that cycle always comes back around. So I know that I better hold on to that idea for a long time before I decide to execute on it. In the same way that, like, every once in a while I'll get an idea for a tattoo, and so I hold on to that idea and go, but within a month I'm like, I don't want that anymore. Same is true with taking your life. Sit with it for a while. You can always cash that chip. At the same time, I find the idea of suicide to be very healing and very helpful and a part of my spiritual practice. Alan Watts used to say that it's one of the fundamental questions of philosophy and spirituality is the game worth the candle? Is the struggle worth the fun? And when I ever have doubts of that, I do an exercise of pondering ending my life. And then with the context of that on a spectrum of extreme actions, with suicide being on all the way, the most extreme thing I could do, suddenly I realize how much exists between there and where I am right now. And there's all these things that I would not consider because they would be disruptive of my life or might offend someone or might be scary or have risks. But it's like, oh, but if I'm pondering the most extreme thing, then why not take a risk and book a one-way flight somewhere? Or why not get that tattoo that I've always wondered about? Why not do these things that are, because, and just that pondering, just that opening up of this huge spread of life experiences that are risky and scary and potentially dangerous or damaging but are not suicide suddenly opens up this world of opportunity and can free me from the closed mindset of I'm trapped, I suck, it's never going to change. Oh, there's a lot of things I could do. Which is why I'm getting my face tattooed. No, not really. But I'm not going to be somebody who says, suicide bad, suicide valid. But often the path to it is flawed. So if by any chance you catch this broadcast and you are having thoughts like Bret did, I would urge you to sit with it. Sit with it. It might be unbearable, but maybe that struggle is the classroom, is the lesson that you need, that your eternal consciousness needs or desires to break through into a place that will be fantastic, that will be wonderful, that will be a gift to you, and in your healing, a gift to the planet, the universe. And maybe in that place of struggle and pain, you can open up the things that you could possibly do. Maybe there's a life of service that you've never realized that you had available to you. Maybe there's a lot of things you could try before you cash in that chip that's always available to you. And if you get to that point where you say, I'm cashing this chip, talk it through with someone. Talk it through with me. I will not talk you out of killing yourself. I might ask you questions. I might make a plan to do something together. I might invite you to an event or see if you want to go on a beach walk. Of course, if you bluff me to try to get a beach walk, But the human mind, the human perspective is so flawed. Make sure that you get some feedback and you get some collaboration and corroboration before you make that permanent solution happen. It's valid. It's a valid decision in many situations, but make sure it's valid for yours. Because the number of people who have come back from that darkness to give profound gifts to humanity is so huge. I would guess that most of the people contributing in the most dramatic, profound ways to the world are ones that have made it through the valley of darkness, maybe multiple times. So know that I believe in you. If you can't see it, I see it. And know that as someone who has suffered from depression many times in my life and for many years at times, I know that it's hard for people who don't feel depressed to get. That depression is not something that you feel like, oh, I feel depressed. No, it's not like that. It's just like the world fucking sucks and I suck and I'm always going to suck and it's always going to... So just, if you trust me in any way, let me corroborate your perspective and then do what you want. Or someone that you trust. Because we're walking miracles. And there's magic in all of us. Sometimes it's the dark winters required to let the bloom open.